Hi everyone, here we are back again for our Friday morning This Is Us video. And we changed our venue here. We're sitting in the living room instead of in the dining room.
Yeah, I can take a nap right here.
Now John, no falling asleep.
Come on, look who's here.
Here, Bud's coming to visit us. Bud loves to sit on John's lap when he's when he's in this chair, and so it's just normal for him to
But
be
what do
there,
you
I
have to
guess.
say about things? And what's your opinion?
We know what Bud thinks.
And we don't want to talk about that in front of children.
We were thinking about talking about the farm today, and we just the animals have gone out to graze for the first time for this season, and that's always an exciting time for us. And I try and think about it, and I think, so what is it that I love so much about seeing the animals get to go out and graze after a winter of eating hay, and
As usual, I have to do a little backdrop.
oh, okay, go ahead.
Maria gets right into it. So last week, 2 days ago, we, for the first time...
I don't think they can see your face,
It's
John.
okay. You got a cuter face than me. It's just a big day for us, because it means we don't have to bring out hay anymore, or Maria doesn't. And the sheep just love, they're so happy. You can just see this release when they go out and get grass after eating dry, hay all winter. So it's a big day, and that's all. I just want to make it clear to people.
Right, but I was thinking about why, what is it about it that makes it so special? And I think it goes deeper than, like, part of it is that it's a relief because, it makes our lives a little bit easier. But also there's something about seeing them, their kind of enthusiasm or their desire for the grass, which it's the most natural. Of course, it's the most natural way for them to eat. It's not as eating hay is not as natural to them as grazing. So there's that. There's like you perceive their, I don't know what you would call it, joy, their excitement, and it's very satisfying to see them and to hear them eating. But I kind of feel like it goes deeper than that. I feel like it goes back even further. Like it's one of those very ancient things about bringing the animals to their food, and that there's just something that I don't even have words for it. Do you have any sense of that, John?
You need words. You've got your man right here. That's a big
I work more in
what
feelings.
Words? I'm here.
I'm more about feelings, and
Well, it's
you're more
interesting.
about words.
I think that's true. I think you're really a feeling person, and I'm like a talking person, a writing person. I say writing person. It's a little more glamorous. I think the evolution for you is really interesting because I saw it when we first met. I hired you in the first farm to take care of the animals, in exchange for which, what were you going to do? In exchange for
My
something?
studio.
Your studio. Oh, right.
I
gave
came
her
on
my
the
studio.
weekends to feed
Right,
the animals,
right.
and I got my
It
studio.
seems like a century ago. And
rent-free studio.
I remember walking up the first time, crying because she was so happy to be around the animals. We're bringing treats for every single one of the sheep, which at the time were like 35, and you were just so happy. And I think that you have evolved tremendously from, you didn't know anything about sheep or how to take care of them. And I had some experience, but mostly I was just sheep herding, which was my only interest, really. I didn't spend a lot of time.
You didn't, even with the shearing, you just got rid of the wool. You didn't have wool sheep, and you just got rid of the wool.
No, never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I think I think you found it in the barn.
It was in the barn, yeah.
And then that's when you started thinking about yarn. So I think what you've developed was this incredible association with them. And I've mentioned a lot of times that I am struck by the division between city people and rural people when it comes to animals. No rural person in a million years would accuse me of being cruel to Bud, Zip rather, for letting him be a barn cat. And I got a lot of messages from city people saying, "Oh, it's so cruel. How can you not let him in?" So it's just different lives, different cultures. But you sort of, you were very, I guess, guarded around them. You were unsure of yourself, and now you're just so incredibly confident with them, and they are so attached to you, in much the way like dogs get to people, which I didn't really understand or really expect.
Because you didn't have that happen with.
No, I was always with the dogs.
You were always,
never
it was
about
it was about something different, right? And I was thinking too about how it like fits into our lives now, because I mean, you first came upstate to, sheep herd. Basically that's what you were doing. You were having sheep for
and
the
to be
dogs.
in nature, to be in nature.
And to be in nature, which, you still are.
And to get away from New Jersey.
Which is always a good thing.
Oh, it's always good.
But I think about it now, and I was thinking how, our lives are so based around our art. And your writing, your photography, and my art. And yet the animals fit in there so easily. They fit into our lives so easily. And it's not as if there's these separate pieces, like the animals are one piece and the art is one piece and the photography is another
Maybe
piece.
you talk a little bit how the animals have figured into your art, how they've woven into your art.
Well, I think it has more to do, almost with my blog, and how that has helped integrate all the different parts of my creative life, and because I write about everything, and because I take pictures of everything, it has just become it's just become part of my creative life. Is this making any sense?
Yeah.
When
You give an example or two, that'd be
like walking in the woods. So walking in the woods, I write about it on my blog. I take pictures of it. The sheep, I sell their wool. I take pictures of them almost every day. They're in my Monday morning videos. So my art has expanded from me working in my studio creating concrete art, things that I can sell. So now my art is also everything that I do on my blog. It's the writing, it's the videos, it's the pictures. And so my whole life, and you too, I mean, our relationship, all of our animals, it naturally has become integrated into being a part of my art. And I think you do the exact same thing. I mean, that's what your blog was about from the beginning, right?
Yes, although
Writing
I
about
think,
your life.
What really has opened me up to this is the photography. Because for me, I see photography as about a way to really see the world. Because photography doesn't lie, and it's instant, and it can be very beautiful. Words are informational in a different way. But I remember thinking, okay, this is what the world looks like. Because I had to look at it to take pictures and figure that out.
You had to really look at it, which
I had
you
to really
hadn't
look at
really
it, which I'd never
before.
done. I was always too busy, running newspapers.
You're kind of in your head more than seeing what was around you.
And so that's the way I have done it, and animals have been so integrated into my photography. They're up every day, so people get to know them, and I think urban people especially have seen a different way of life, animal-wise, a different way to see animals, a different way to deal with death, a different way to deal with trouble, sickness.
From writing about that, and
Remember when we first had to put an animal down, it was insane.
Yeah,
getting attacked
the first
all over the
times,
place.
even with the chickens, everything, and now that doesn't happen anymore. Well, you did a very good job of explaining it, of writing about it and explaining it.
And that's where words and pictures come together, because they can see that what I'm saying is the truth because they can see it.
Right.
And that's been a big thing for me, because people don't trust media often these days. They don't believe what they see, but they do believe the pictures tell them.
Right.
So that was a big opening for me on many levels. But for you, I think, but it's really enjoying this. But I didn't invite you to take over the whole talk. You have anything to say to these people?
We don't want him to start barking or start snoring.
Or God, worse. But it's not one of those neat. Anyway, so I think they both affected our lives. They've also given us, of course, a way to do our work and live our lives here. Because I think it's the window into the farm, the window into the animals that have given people a reason to look at our blog.
Well, yes, and even like with the sheep and the wool, I know plenty of people who have sheep, and their wool, they don't know what to do with the wool. It's hard to sell wool. It's hard to sell the yarn, and yet because of the way it works with us and the sheep, and people get to know them. Then I'm able to actually sell it because people know about them. I don't know. It's all integrated. That's the thing. It's not a bunch of separate different pieces. It becomes all integrated, and I do think that the blog does all of that.
Oh my God!
That's the only problem with sitting
Didn't I
here.
Sit down
is that you can see the birds in the window.
I want to be taking a picture. But I think that's also a testament to how your creativity works, because you've been extremely creative in dealing with the sheep. It was brilliant. You're figuring out about the yarn. I never crossed my mind. And you said, okay, I can do some interesting things with this. I can make some art with them, and so your yarn becomes art. And you're always taking.
Well, I don't use my yarn as art, but other people do. Yes, definitely.
You're making art for them.
Definitely, I'm giving them a tool.
And so that's what. But your creativity has made that possible.
Right.
I'm creative in other ways, I hope, but that's not one of them.
Right.
And you've evolved now into a whole different thing.
Yeah, and it's not just this like me working alone in my studio. It's not just that, or you sitting in your office writing from your head. That's how it all comes together. But the blogs do it. The blogs make that happen.
And how often do people write you and say, "Oh, I've got such and such's yarn"? They know the name of the animals. They know the name of the sheep.
Right.
And so if you have a relationship with people in that way,
right? Yeah.
Well, this isn't just yarn.
It is. There's like so many different facets to it. You know what? We're up to 11 minutes, John.
That's all right. We can do it. Nobody's complaining.
No.
I'm not complaining. And Bud is certainly not complaining.
Bud is very happy.
Bud is very happy. Bud, you've never done this before. This is new. It's okay. I like to scratch you. But I think that's woven through our lives in many ways. And I think that, but it's my time here. I'm supposed to be. Anyway, hi there. I think it's what keeps the place going. Okay, Bud, that's enough. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Get lost. So I think that it's essential when we come to grazing, that nature moves in and takes its place. There's a whole different rhythm here.
Yeah.
You don't have to get up early and feed them. They know where to go. They get happier.
Well, I still have to get up and open the gates because they stand outside yelling.
Even I can do that. It's just a different feeling.
It's definitely different. And it feels good. It feels like, oh, okay, this is the way it's supposed. Animals are supposed to graze. You know what I mean? It's what they do.
And it's beautiful looking out the window anytime, day or night,
and seeing
them grazing. It does something to me. It's calming. It's beautiful.
That's what I mean. There's something I think very ancient about it. There's something that goes way back for us humans. That it touches something deep inside of us.
So you're combining what's ancient with what's contemporary, and you're doing it visually and creatively, and in your studio and in my camera.
Right.
So I think we're able to react to that and weave it into our lives. That's how we can live here.
Yeah.
That's our way of living here. We couldn't be here without the ability to do that.
We couldn't be doing what we're doing. We couldn't have the animals.
No,
we couldn't. Yeah.
But we talk about the evolution of nature, but the evolution of you has been very interesting for me to see, because you're doing all kinds of things that I sort of did but didn't really do, and you have embraced them.
We're just doing them differently. And I mean, that's part of being creative, is just trying to figure out, you figure out how to make things work and how to, that's being creative.
And there's a feeling part when you go out there every morning, and I usually am out there in my bathrobe with my camera, and you walk out into the pasture, or they just follow you. They don't get excited, they don't run over you, they don't stampede. They're looking at you for direction. And you'll often say to them, well, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. And they go.
But that's the ancient thing. That's the shepherd thing. People have been doing that with sheep for how long? I don't know, thousands and thousands of years, right? And so that's a connection.
When you're sheep herding, though, it's almost aggressive. You're scaring the sheep.
Oh, you mean with the dogs?
Yeah, you're scaring them. You're forcing them. The real shepherd doesn't give it a chance to develop those relationships.
But you're also bringing them to food, so that's always a good thing.
But very peacefully and very. You're never afraid of them. They're never going to run into you. They're never going to be chaotic.
Right.
So it's all beautiful to me. It's really been eye-opening. It's been educational, and it's been creative. So that's why we do it, and that's why we talk about it.
It is. It always comes back to creativity, I think.
All right, well, now we're at 14 minutes, so I think that's
so now it's a good time to stop.
Well, I think it was ready. We ready. Had a little more to say. Do you have any more to say?
I don't think I have anything else to say. I was drying up 2 minutes ago.
No, not me. I was just warming up.
I know.
All right, well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you're enjoying it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.